Hail and greetings. Ragnarok Prepper here. I just wanted to take a moment today to make a short video and show you what Friday is here. Every Friday I make a trip to the store to fill any slots from the pantry or to specifically target a prep that we are looking for or have noticed a shortness in over the past few weeks. Something like that, if it appears, it automatically hops onto this week's list. I also, looking at my inventory, will judge what is necessarily most important to be retrieved that week. Whether that be salt, oil, vinegar. We're doing a lot of canning right now, so we're using those supplies up pretty quickly. You, though, may not be a canner. You may just be prepping food. You may have just started prepping. You may be 3 months down, 6 months down, who knows? So just remember that everything you buy may be way different from what I buy. You're always going to want to buy what you're going to eat, what your children are going to eat. Don't buy something just because it sounds cool or you think it might be a great prep. Use it first. Those freeze-dried fruits may be detestable to you, but other people may love them. So I'm going to take a second here, flip the camera over, and I'll go show you what we found. Alright guys, so here we go. I lined it up here at the back of the shed to show you what is going to be placed into the storage hold from this week's trip. Now these items are not here to replace anything that's been used. This is sheer preparedness storage. So I've heard a lot of people talk about children. Prepping with children, you need to have something that's going to remind them of normalcy. Children have a sweet tooth. Now, I only recently started prepping candy in a more, how do I want to say, regular basis. I had some stored, but over the past month, it seems like the candy aisle never gets replenished. And, children have their favorites. So, for instance, the Skittles, those were the last bags on the shelf, literally. The same with the Rolos. Now, we haven't seen a problem with the Halloween candy that they're putting out into the store now, but it's the regular bags of candy that are always there year-round. They're just not being replenished. And so I want to keep them happy, and I have the space, so why not? Now, let's get a little closer here. So you can see here, we have some Himalayan pink salt, a couple bags of baking soda. You can never go wrong with that. Now here we have jars of mincemeat. The raisin and apple kind, for those who are unfamiliar with mincemeat. I got 9 jars of that today. That was all they had. Bonus jar. Bonus lid. SHTF. Not to mention storing anything else. Plus the shelf life is really great. Which is another reason you'll see over here, peach pie filling. I take every week and get a different flavor of pie filling. In my opinion, it seems that it stores a lot longer than the fruit that you get for treats. The little fruit cups that kids like to have at lunch. But you can also use the pie filling in just about anything. You can mix it in your pancakes. You could make cake with it. There's plenty of options. Throw it in some yogurt, some goat's milk. Whatever you need to do, it's there. Now you'll see here we have organic light agave syrup. Some of you may not be familiar with this. I wasn't either. Looking for a healthy alternative to sugar. This is actually a really good 100% natural sweetener. I purchased some to let the family try it, and they really seem to like it. So I've been adding more of that. Of course, your classic M&Ms. Behind that, you have some paper plates. That is one of my habit preps. Every week, I grab one. Why not? Here, the Kosher Salt. Last box on the shelf. Last 4 boxes of salt, Morton's. Non-iodized. They actually had another case of wolf chili, so I grabbed that. As you can see tucked in here, we have 2 bonus items. 2 cases of wide mouth ball jars for canning. I still have not been able to find lids. It's been over a year and there have been no lids in my area. So what I have to do is whenever I can find jars, I buy jars. Nothing wrong with having extra jars, especially if I'm getting the lids with them. Pumpkin. There were actually 14 cans of pumpkin on the shelf today. I got them all. My wife does a lot of baking in the fall. We do a lot of gifting. And she even sells her pumpkin loaves and pumpkin rolls. So I wanted to get to start and getting that now because it's actually the first I've seen the 100% pumpkin on the shelves here. Now there's been pumpkin pie mix, that pre-seasoned pumpkin, but not the 100% pure pumpkin. Also, we haven't had fish here. So there was actually 2 cases of this on there. I got 18 cans. Another habit prep. Every time I go, we get the 72 count toilet paper. Water. Always have water. This was the last 2. Now they also, the last 2 cases of this type of water. They did have the store brand water, but that was really it. And I don't prefer that. It's just a personal thing. Water is water, and when you need it, you'll need it. When they don't have what I prefer, I will buy whatever is there, obviously. Don't limit yourself to favorite specific brands. If the only chance you have is to get that water, get that water. Now here I have some more salt and black peppercorns. I like to grind it, so I have grinders and refills. And also today was a spice run, so I picked up some cumin, some white pepper, some turmeric, some poppy seed, some salad supreme, some fennel seed, some coriander, just because. I've also noticed a shortage there, especially with the salad supreme in our area. That's a big summer spice that they just really weren't getting refilled. So when the chance came, I pounced on it. Also, I look, because it seems the variety is missing in our spice aisles. So what I've done now is, you know, if there may be only 1 or 2 left on the shelf, well, they're coming home with me because I need them. It's been way too long since they've been refilled, if you know what I mean. But as you can notice here, I take and I write the date of purchase on every item. So that way I know when I got it, as well as the expiration date, which will be on the item itself. When you are writing the date, make sure you're writing the date on the can itself. You know, these labels, they can come off anytime. You could lose that information, and you really don't want to lose that. It's so important to be organized, especially when you're storing large amounts of product. For instance, another thing I do here, as you can see, I have it written on the label, on the bottle itself, and on the lid, because I'm sure you know as well as I do that you drop this, the lid pops off, now your date's gone. I'd rather not take the chance. So I double up. It only takes a second longer. Not a big deal. Okay, guys. I hope you enjoyed seeing what I prepped today. If you see any problems or any concerns, please let me know in the comments below. Something you might have prepped instead that I didn't, share. Let's talk about it. There is something, though, I want to mention. And I'm going to do a different video on it, but I just want to bring it up briefly here. Form those habits. You know, a lot of people sit here and say, how do I prep? How do I get in that mindset? Form a habit. Every time you go to the store, you buy this, this, and this, plus what you're looking for. Make it a habit. Get to the point where you don't even think about it, you just do it. Because you're prepping. And it can be different things for different people. But there are certain things that I buy every single week. Especially things that won't go bad, or things that we use on a daily basis. You can never have enough of that. And I think, especially at the beginning of this pandemic, it became apparent to everyone that it's good to have things on hand. Whether you're a prepper or not a prepper, you still have a need. And when all of a sudden mandates and limited travel, supply, all those things take effect, it gets really hard to get the things you need. And look how many people were out of toilet paper. We weren't. That was the really funny part of, you know, when this all started going down. Because everybody joked about, oh, those guys, they have this and they have that, you know. My wife and I both would get teased about being preppers. But I'll never forget that day, you know, it started going down, and this one guy, he'd always joked and laughed about it. He come up and he said, you know, man, you were right. I wish I was like your family now. Then I wouldn't be worried about finding toilet paper or flour or water or my kids' candy or soda or juice. Take that extra time. Take that extra 5 minutes of your day. Reach down and grab something extra. No matter what it is. If it's a 50-cent pack of ramen noodles, it's one more pack that you didn't have yesterday and you will have tomorrow. Hopefully, you'll have it for a long, long time. And you'll get into a system and a cycle, and you'll learn how to use and prepare and inventory everything that you have. But even if, before all that, it's just going to be there when you need it. I can't stress that enough. Get that 30 days, get that 3 months, 6 months, whatever it is. Stock what you can, prep what you can. There is going to be a day when you'll need it, and you'll be so much farther ahead than anyone who isn't prepared. And that may give you the time that you need. It may give the ones that you love the time that they need. Well, that's all today. Ragnarok Prepper. Until next we meet, be well.